What is good, boys? Today we are here making um, our first tier list. So we're making our tier list. We're coming in with a bang, and we're making it on our dark matters. Uh, you know, there's some dark matters that shouldn't even be dark matters, and I know you guys are gonna identify them. So because of that, I can't get rid of this ad right here. This ad's driving me nuts. Because of that, I'm gonna go straight ahead and throw my D tier dark matters in there. I think they're a waste of space. They should not be on the court. Um, if you're running them, I don't know what you're doing. You either don't know ball or you are new to 2K and you just happen to get dark matter and threw them out there. But these cards should never see the court. Just so to start that D tier list, we're gonna throw Kevin Garnett. He should be in an F tier. If there was an F tier, that card's a waste of space. Kemba Walker, another card. He's got a jumper, but he's 6'1". He can't play any sort of defense. Not worth it. Not worth that exchange for sure. Um, After that, or sorry, that was Victor Oladipo. Oh, since we got Oladipo in here, we're gonna throw Oladipo in his. Yeah, we're gonna throw him in a D tier. He's 6'3". He's too small. I haven't seen any sort of gameplay on him. That means that that card is not worth running. He's not worth being on the court. If nobody's getting him, that should be a sign. So there's our Kimball Walker that we were wanting. Kimball Walker, D tier, 6'1". He's 6'1". He's 6'3". There's a theme there. Small guards can't play defense. They may be able to shoot the ball, but that's about all they can do. Kevin Garnett, man, if I wanted to, I could make a video of 10-minute video solely about ranting about that Kevin Garnett card. He's straight garbage. This MJ, I'm gonna throw in high D tier. I contemplated throwing him in low C tier, but his jumper's terrible. He can play defense. He can slash. He can. That's about it though. Um, his jumper is so baited. It's so slow. He's got to be wide open to have any chance of hitting a three. So for that reason, I can't put him any higher than D. Um, that I think I'm missing somebody in the D tier. D Rose, D or no, yeah, I can't. Small guard, he's got offense, but that's all he's got. He can't crash boards. He can't play defense. I don't like that card. Y'all may disagree with me. That is fine. If you, we're all allowed to our own opinions. Um, that may be it for my D tier cards. We're missing three. What am I talking about? Forgot about these All Star cards up here. We're gonna throw Steph Curry in C tier actually. Steph Curry can't play any sort of defense, but he's more elite on offense than those cards that are in D tier, so I can't throw him in D tier. He can't slash, but if you're able to shoot the ball and get open looks, he's got a very quick jumper. It's easy to get off. That's why Curry will go in C tier, but he can't do really anything other than shoot the ball. Um, mm, Jokic, we're throwing in C tier. Uh, I don't think he's D tier. I don't think he's that bad, that terrible, but he would never make it onto a court when you have cards out there like Opal JJJ and cards like that. I think, really the only thing that Jokic is good for is that running fade. That's about it. Um, his set shot is baited. It's easy to contest. It's super super slow. I am not a fan of that card. Um, Another card that is on D tier is Jalen Brunson. He's too small. He can't do anything other than shoot the ball. He can't slash. He can't play defense. He can't get boards. I don't like this card right here. I think that's a legend badge right there. Him, KG, two legend badges. D Rose legend badge. Honestly, Curry and Jokic legend badges. Like all these C and D tier cards will be legend badges. And MJ, I don't. I'm not a fan of these cards at all. That's why I'm kind of flying through them. Um, I just don't think it's worth spending the time talking about them. Um, who else am I missing? Oh, Cat. I'm gonna throw Cat in C tier. He can shoot. He is a big, so he can score inside a little bit. He can get some boards, but he's not very big. His player build sucks. He's not a card I would run. That would be another legend badge for me. But he's not the worst. He's not D tier, but he's not great. So that's another C tier card right there. Another card I'm gonna throw in a C tier is Scotty Barnes. I just haven't used him, so I don't really know how he plays. I assume he can play defense. He probably's got an okay jumper, probably not the best. Um, he's probably just mid all the way around. but I have not used him, so I cannot make a fair judgment on him. So that's why I'm going to throw him into C tier. Um, Mitchell, I'm going to throw in a C tier. Easy to jumper, easy to time jumper. Um, he can slash a little bit. He can play a little bit of defense, but he can't get boards. He's a liability on defense inside. I'm not a big fan of that Donovan Mitchell card, so for that reason, I will be throwing him into C tier, but he's not nearly as bad as those cards in D tier. Shaq, C tier. He can't shoot. He can't shoot. He's dominant inside. He's good on defense. Gets a ton of boards, but he's not it when it comes. For my playstyle personally, he'll probably be pretty good for people. I don't think he was worth 1,000 that people paid for him to get when he came out. Um, he's probably worth that time, but that died off really quickly. I don't. I think there's better options out there than that Shaq that's right there that people probably got during that event. Um, Another card that I'm going to put in the C tier, Larry Bird. Great on defense, good at slashing, can get boards, but his jump shot is so baited. You can't. I had him for quite a while. I did start him. I ran him with Magic. Not it, man. It was time to pack him up. His jumper, like, you can get it off if you got space, but like, it's just too slow. It's baited. It's baited. It's not a great jumper, but he does have good. I liked the way he moved, and I liked how he played defense and how he could slash. Um, we're gonna grab James Harden. We're gonna throw him in a B tier. He's a liability on defense, but he's elite offensively. Elite, easy to time jumper, can slash, but he is a liability on defense. That's why he's not A tier, but he is a B tier card for me. Hakeem Olajuwon, S tier. I loved this card. I had this card for a little bit. I sold him. I'll get into why I sold him in a minute. Um, but this card's so elite. The defense on it, absolutely. He blocks a ton, gets a ton of boards, scores inside, dunks on people. You can time it. I didn't have problems timing his fade. Easy to time, spot up shooter. This card is completely all around. Definitely a card that I would recommend you guys picking up. Dwayne Wade, D tier. I don't like it. He can play. He can play a little bit of defense. Baited jumper. He can slash a little bit, but now he's not. No, he should not see the court in this time of the game. Um, Absolutely fried. I'm not a fan of that D Wade card. That's why he D Wade D tier, perfect. Um, Shea S tier, pretty self-explanatory with Shea. Awesome, elite offensively, easy time jumper and fade. Great segment, great dribble style, great motion style. Can play a ton of defense. I really like that Shea card. Easy S tier edition. Ray Allen, another one of those D tier cards. If you have him, please get rid of him. He should never be on the court unless that's the only dark factor you have, I guess. But I think there's better options out there like Ricky Davis. But Ray Allen is so garbage. My boy Turbo, I know you see this, Turbo. Please get rid of that card, man. That's a legend badge right there. That's a legend badge. B Roy, A tier for me. I don't think he's S tier. Easy to, but he has a great jumper, great fade, plays defense all the way around. I just don't. To be S tier, you have to have that thing that leverage that's pushing you over the edge. But I don't see that with B Roy. I mean, he's got amazing slashing ability, amazing jumper. I don't know. It's just missing something for me. And so for that reason, B Roy will go A tier. I just don't think he's S tier worthy. Scottie Pippen, another A tier card. He is my starting shooting guard. Amazing card. So his jumper is a little bit slower. His fade is a little bit slower. That's why he's not S tier. But his defense, his boards, and his slashing are unreal. I love that card at the 2. He's not my primary scorer. He plays his role. I love what he does on the court and for his defensive ability. Um, Austin Reeves, you guys that saw my video about rating my subscribers' teams, Austin Reeves is garbage. I know people like him. He's free, easy to time, shooting wise. Other than that, what is he doing for you? He's not a great slasher. He can slash, not a great slasher. I mean, that gets him out of D tier, but his defense is a liability. I don't like his defense at all. I had him for a little bit and quickly packed him up. I am not a fan of that Austin Reeves card. Kevin Durant, S tier, another S tier card, pretty self-explanatory. I'm gonna go for the same thing for him, Braun, and Giannis. I mean, I don't really have to get into that. You guys know how they play. Yeah, they all got so Katie and Braun got easy to time jumpers. They slash and they can guard the 1 through 5. Giannis can guard the 1 through 5. Giannis's player build is unreal. His work in the paint is insane. I had that Opal Giannis for quite a while. Really loved his work, slashing ability and defensive wise and getting boards. Absolutely love that card. Easy S tier. Jason Tatum, I'm gonna throw him B tier. He's not anything crazy. He's not terrible. Not the worst. Great jumper. Terrible fade. If I remember that right, his fade was not the best. Um, but he can slash. I think he's a little bit undersized for my liking. Um, but Jason Tatum is not a C tier. He's definitely better than every card in the C tier. But I don't think he's A tier. I think Jason fits perfectly into that B tier situation. Sean Kemp, another C tier. I don't see anything crazy with him. He's better than D tier cards, but I don't see anything that stands out about him. He can slash, he can get boards, he's got an okay jumper, but there's nothing that's like bringing him up to that B tier. Uh, J.R. Smith, another C tier. I got a lot of C tiers in here. Um, JR, I haven't used him, so I can't judge him fairly. But from what I have heard, is that they fried JR this year. He's not the same card that he used to be. I might be wrong on that. I might be wrong on that. But if I am, let me know. Don't hesitate to call me out in the comment sections if you think I'm wrong on that. But for me, JR is C tier. Ron Artest, A tier. Great shooting guard. You guys remember around Thanksgiving, around Christmas, that man gets buckets. He gets buckets and he plays defense. His pink diamond was unreal. His dark matter is unreal. Easy A tier. Easy jumper, easy fade, easy A. Gary Payton, another easy A tier. I wanted to put him in S tier. I did. I really wanted to put Gary Payton in S tier. For the reason that I didn't is because he's only 6'4". But his jumper and his fade are great. His dribble style is great. He's Gary. It's the glove. He plays a ton of defense. Amazing card. The only issue that I have with him is his height. Jalen Green. I'm gonna throw Jalen Green in B tier. I don't think he's as bad as some people have said. His defense is a liability, but I think his offense makes up for that defense that he is missing. I think he's one of the more. He's pretty elite on offense. Um, the people, all the guys I got in C tier, I think they're all missing that, but I think Jalen Green's just a step ahead of them. DeMar DeRozan, C tier, haven't used him. Midi Merchant, he probably has an okay jumper, not the best fade, okay, probably a little bit slower based on how he plays. That's my assumption with him. Probably plays pretty decent defense. He's just not a card that I have any interest in using. Brandon Ingram, I'm gonna throw in B tier. I would want to throw in A tier, but because it has a 6'10" shooting guard, but his jumper's so baited, it's slow. I mean, I had him for a little bit, brought him into freestyle, exchanged him. I never even ran a game with him. That Brandon Ingram card is I just don't think it's it. But at the end of the day, he is a 6'10" shooting guard, so he will go in B tier. Melo, I think he is also a B tier card. I think he's pretty decent. He's 6'7" point guard, easy to time jumper. He's got great dribble animations, great motion style. He can play a little bit of defense at 6'7", but I mean he will get bodied inside. So I don't see him being able to be A tier, but he's definitely a B tier card. David Robinson, easy A tier. He would go up to S tier for me if he had a little bit of a better jumper. I mean, I love it. I wouldn't say love. Whoa, let me slow down there. I was able to time his Opal jumper. I was pretty decent with it, but I know a lot of people do struggle with David Robinson's release. So for that reason, I cannot put him into S tier. He does have a great player build, gets a ton of boards, plays a bunch of defense, and scores inside. He can shoot if you know how to time it right, and but I know a lot of people do struggle with that. For that reason, I am going to put him in A tier. Lamar Odom, I'm gonna throw in B tier. Haven't really used him. I mean, based off Lamar, I mean, I've played against him. He's got a pretty solid. It looks like a pretty decent jumper, pretty decent fade. I mean, he can play. He can play. He's not terrible. He's not the best. I do think he's probably better than these cards in C tier. So for that reason, I will throw him in B tier. Michael Porter Jr. B tier. MPJ in years past has had a butter jumper. He's got a butter jumper again, but that's about. I mean, he can slash. He's 6'10". The only issue with MPJ is he does not have the best defense. But so for that reason, I cannot throw him in A tier, but I will throw MPJ in B tier. Jerry Stackhouse, A tier. Not S tier quite yet. A tier for Jerry Stackhouse. My boy C's You love Jerry Stackhouse. I've seen all your clips of him. He's butter jumper, butter fade, can play defense. Great dribble. Whoa. I don't even know what I just said there. Great dribble animations. Um, but definitely a card I recommend picking up if you can exchange for him. No issues with Jerry Stackhouse, but I just don't see him as S tier. He's not that like top of the top card, but he's definitely very good. Chet Holmgren also A tier. I know some people will want him in S tier. For mine, I don't see that thing that gets him over the edge. Just how I said with B Roy, um, he's got a good player build. He's got like he's slim. He moves quickly. He's got a good jumper. He definitely gets boards and can score inside. Um, I don't see anything that's jumping him to S tier though. Yeah, I mean he's very good. I don't know if I'd go as far. I mean he's great. He's amazing, but I don't know about elite as you have to be an S tier for me. I don't see Chet as an S tier, but he's definitely closer to S tier than he is to B tier. I'm gonna put him mid A. Kareem, easy S tier, easy S tier. I bought this card for 1.1 million, 39 Hall of Fame badges. Um, the best, if not the second best dark matter in the game, in my opinion. Um, you'll see why. I'm sure you guys already know why I say if not. There's one other guy that could be right up there with him, but he's got a great jumper. I love his jumper for big. He can shoot the fade. Absolute beast inside for boards and scoring inside the paint and dunking on people. I have no complaints with this Kareem. He moves fast. He can dribble. I have no issues with this Kareem. That other card I was mentioning, Zach Edey, easy S tier, easy S tier. That's another card that compares hand in hand with Kareem. He's just bigger, more dominant. I feel like because of his player build, he's just he's a bigger guy. Easy to time jumper, easy to time fade. My boy Heat Streak uses him all the time when we run triple threat. Um, awesome card. Easy S tier for Zach Edey. Magic Johnson, easy A tier. He is my backup point guard. I mean, I'm sure you guys already know what my gripe is about Magic is that his jumper is baited. It's slow. It's not the best. His fade isn't good. But what gets him over that hump into A tier is he's 6'9", and his defense is elite and his slashing is elite and I mean I love this Magic Johnson card. My only issue is that jumper. If he had a good jumper, he'd be S tier. But easy A tier for Magic. Adam Morrison, my boy Fitz and Sergio. I know you guys love Adam Morrison. Where did he just go? Yeah, he's going into A tier. Great jumper, great fade, great, easy, great movement all the way around. Can play defense. I have no issues with Adam Morrison. Other than he's a little bit smaller. I want to say, yeah, he's not like small, but he's a little bit on the smaller end. Um, but that is an A tier for Adam Morrison. Zoe B. I've yet to see anybody like anything special about this Lonzo card. I mean, he's what 6'7", right? But he doesn't have. He's got an okay jumper. Doesn't have the best fade. I see nothing that should bump him into A tier. So for that reason, but he is definitely better than the cards that are in C tier. So for that reason, he will be sticking in B tier. And last but not least, Julius Erving. To my boys that have known me since I really started playing this MG, I packed. Dr. J was my first Dark Matter. I packed him when he first came out, and I still kept him. I kept him because I loved that card. I couldn't go away from it. I did finally end up selling him. He sold for 1.6 million. If you want to see that video, it is on my channel. But he had 16 legends on him. Awesome card. Chicken fade. His jumper is so buttery, easy to time. That shot is training wheels. And he does dunk on a ton of people. And if you badge him up properly on defense, he can guard anybody. So this is my final tier list. Our S tier, we got Edey, Julius, Kareem, Hakeem, Shea, Braun, Giannis, and KD. If you guys see any cards that you think I should move in S or any cards that I would move around that you have issues with where I put them, don't hesitate to let me know in the comments. Whatever tier list you guys want to see next, whether it's pink diamonds, opals, position wise, if you want me to give you a position tier list, if you want me to give you a price tier list or like anything that you guys want me to give you, don't hesitate to let me know in the comments. But I would appreciate it if you guys could like and subscribe. And yeah, we'll be probably posting one of these tier lists probably once a week. Not even once a week. Probably we can do a couple. We can do a couple a week depending on what the people want to see. But yeah, so definitely drop your suggestions in the comments, and I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you.